On the wild lakes of Ireland, there are nights when the water goes still, no wind, no ripple, and swans gather in perfect silence, as if listening for something only they can hear. For centuries, Irish mothers have told their children not to harm a swan, not out of superstition alone, but because of a story about 4 children who were turned into swans by a jealous stepmother and condemned to 900 years of exile across Ireland's harshest waters. This is the tale of the Children of Lir, and unlike most myths, this one doesn't end when the spell breaks. It ends with a choice no parent should ever have to make. Long before St. Patrick, before the Ireland we know today, the land was ruled by the Tuatha Dé Danann, a race of godlike beings, masters of magic, music, and craft. Among them was a proud lord named Lir. When the tribes gathered to choose a new high king, Lir believed the crown should be his. Instead, the chieftains chose another, a lord named Lough Derravaragh. Lir was furious. He refused to bow to the new king, and for a time war seemed certain between them. But Lough Derravaragh, wanting peace more than pride, offered Lir a gift, the hand of his own daughter Aoibh in marriage. Lir accepted, and to everyone's relief, the feud dissolved into friendship. Aoibh gave Lir 4 children he adored beyond all things, his eldest daughter, Fionnuala, wise beyond her years, and 3 sons, Aoibh and the twins, Fiachra and Con. For a time, King Lear's home on the shores of Lough Derravaragh was the happiest place in Ireland. But joy in these old stories never lasts. Aoibh grew ill and died, leaving Lir and his 4 children devastated. Grief hung over the household like smoke that would not clear. Wanting to ease his sorrow and to keep the peace between the 2 houses, Lough Derravaragh offered Lir a second bride, Aoibh's own sister, Aoife. At first, Aoife seemed kind. She welcomed the children, she smiled at their games, but something was growing behind that smile. Aoife watched Lir dote on his children, watched the way his whole face changed when they laughed, and slowly, something poisonous took root in her heart. She wasn't just Lir's wife, she wanted to be everything to him, and as long as the children lived, she never would be. For months, she said nothing. She only watched and waited. One bright summer's day, Aoife told the children they would go swimming together at Lough Derravaragh, just as they always had. Fionnuala hesitated. Some instinct in her did not trust the smile on Aoife's face, but she said nothing, and the children waded into the cool water, laughing, splashing, utterly unaware. That was when Aoife raised a druid's wand over the water. She spoke the words of an ancient curse, and in a single flash of light, the laughter stopped. Where 4 children had been swimming, there now swam 4 white swans. Horrified even by her own cruelty, Aoife could not bring herself to take away one final thing, their voices. The swans could still speak, still sing, still weep, in voices as human as before. Fionnuala, trembling in her new form, asked how long the curse would last. Aoife's answer was merciless. 900 years. 300 years on Lough Derravaragh, 300 on the storm-battered Sea of Moyle between Ireland and Scotland, and 300 more on the wild waters of Erris, off the coast of County Mayo. Only when a woman from the south married a man from the north, and a holy bell rang out over Ireland, would the curse finally break. When King Lir arrived at the lake searching for his children, he found only 4 swans, and one of them spoke to him in his daughter's voice, telling him everything. Lir's grief turned instantly to rage. He confronted Aoife and demanded she undo what she had done, but some curses once spoken cannot be unspoken, not even by the one who cast them. Lir banished Aoife from his sight forever. In the oldest versions of this tale, she was transformed herself into a demon of the air, doomed to wander, formless and alone for all eternity. But Lir's children remained swans, and nothing he did could change that. For 300 years, Lir came to the shore of Lough Derravaragh every day. He sat with his children in their swan forms, listening to them sing, for their voices had remained so beautiful that people came from across Ireland just to hear it. It was, in its own strange way, a kind of peace. But peace never lasts long in this story either. When 300 years had passed, the swans felt the pull of the curse again, and they had to say goodbye to their father forever. They flew north, toward the cold and merciless Sea of Moyle. The Sea of Moyle was nothing like the gentle lake they'd known. Here, freezing storms tore the sky apart. Waves crashed high enough to separate the four siblings for days at a time, each one alone in the dark, unsure if the others had survived the night. Ice formed on their feathers. Fionnuala, ever the eldest, ever the protector, gathered her brothers beneath her wings whenever she could find them, trying to shield them from a cold that never fully broke. 300 years passed this way, not in peace, but in survival. When the final years on the Sea of Moyle ended, the swans flew to the last leg of their exile, the wild waters off Glora, on the remote coast of County Mayo. Compared to Moyle, it was almost gentle, and here at last they began to hear something new, drifting across the water on quiet mornings, the sound of a distant bell. Christianity was coming to Ireland, and with it, the swans dared to hope. A holy man named Mochaomhóg had built a small monastery on the island, and each morning, when his bell rang for prayer, the swans swam close to listen. Eventually, the old monk noticed them, and realized these were no ordinary birds. Their voices, when they sang, carried words of unbearable sorrow and unmistakable intelligence. Mochaomhóg brought them close to his monastery, cared for them, and listened to their story. For the first time in 900 years, someone showed the Children of Lir true kindness. Word spread of these singing swans, and a local chieftain, wanting to gift something extraordinary to his new wife Aoife, demanded Mochaomhóg hand them over. The old monk refused, but the chieftain would not be denied. And as his men moved to seize the swans by force, something extraordinary happened. The curse, at long last, broke. Feathers fell away, and where 4 swans had been, there now knelt 4 ancient, withered human beings, 900 years old in an instant, their true age catching up to them all at once. Mochaomhóg rushed to their side. There was no time left to save them, only time enough to baptize them, so that whatever happened next, their souls would find peace. Fionnuala, in her final moments, asked to be buried exactly as they had lived, her brothers Con and Ficra at her sides, Aoibh in front of her, just as she had once sheltered them beneath her wings on the Sea of Moyle. And so it was done. The Children of Lir, after 900 years of exile, found their rest together, side by side, at last. To this day, in parts of Ireland, there are those who still won't harm a swan, just in case. The story of the Children of Lir has survived for over 1,000 years, not because of its magic or its curses, but because of something far simpler, a sister who never stopped protecting her brothers, no matter how long the storm lasted. If this story moved you, there are dozens more waiting in the mists of Irish mythology, gods, curses, and heroes that time nearly forgot. Subscribe, and I'll bring you the next one.